inside, scoring on Wilchino. Goes in with Bad Wolf. Red light goes on. They're set. Vital Flirt to steady. The gate of Mr. Delegator popped open at the back. Racing on this occasion, however, Aberdeen Queen will find herself back towards the tail with Vital Flirt as well. Mr. Delegator flew out from the inside and it'll lead them in control early on as Nelson Flight presses forward. Bad Wolf goes up running second. Over on the inside is Mr. Mount Walker. Now Southern's going to try and walk them here from Spookwood, and they're playing into the leader's hands in the early stages. Vital Flirt kicks up underneath of Arnie's Boy. Back last of all is Aberdeen Queen as they gallop down the back. 1100 left to go, and he's getting it all his own way. The well-tried fancy Mr. Delegator by a length. Nelson's Flight, who's not going to contest for the front just yet, starts to pull a bit though, gets up on square terms now with Mr. Delegator. Behind them Bad Wolf Camp up on the outside of Mr. Mount Walker. Vital Flirt down on the inside, tucked away. The speed probably not suiting the back markers at this point with 800 to go. Spookwood's outside Vital Flirt. Aberdeen Queen and Darnie's Boy back there last. They've just hacked along through the middle stages, and it's Mr. Delegator who really has been well ridden in front here, really conservatively held together, leads the way. 3/4 Nelson's Flight just gives it a bit more rein. Bad Wolf behind those for Mr. Mount Walker. Back behind them Vital Flirt, Spookwood, Arnie's Boy, Aberdeen Queen. Well, they're about to quicken coming into the turn. Mr. Delegator, Nelson's Flight. Bad Wolf goes up there. Mr. Mount Walker gets the split. Behind them Vital Flirt being ridden along, but they're really starting to open up now as Bad Wolf comes at Mr. Delegator. Mr. Delegator joined by Bad Wolf. Bad Wolf, when they'd near the 100, got the better of Mr. Delegator from Mr. Mount Walker. Behind them Aberdeen Queen. Vital Flirt struggling today, but it's Bad Wolf, a double for the Maley stable. Bad Wolf beat Mr. Mount Walker. Mr. Delegator, well, he had it all his own way really in front, I suppose, from Aberdeen Queen, who came late, made it interesting there for the minor spot. Behind them Vital Flirt, not suited by the tempo, just got caught flat-footed totally. Nelson's Flight dropped out. Arnie's Boy was well back in the field, and Spookwood was with it. Doubles today for Ash Maley, Brad Rawilla. Brad's has come race to race. Bad Wolf gets home. Enjoyed a perfect trail for Rawilla, and again continuing to make the most of the opportunities that come his way. But Bad Wolf scoring for Ash Maley with a double in the first 4 races on the card, in a race where the well fancy Mr. Delegator got it really cosy in front. Had a bit of company with Nelson's Flight, but it didn't rush forward, and they just backed off. 3, 6 and 5 are the placings. 3, 6 and 5. It held third, Mr. Delegator from Aberdeen Queen. And Vital Flirt not suited at all with the tempo of that race. Bad Wolf is by Say You Think from Surpassing for Ash Maley, MJ Rogers, R. Princey, and ridden by Brad Rawilla. 2nd to 6, Mr. Mount Walker. Trained by Steve Wolf, ridden by Sean McGrunny, by Gingerbread Man from Find the Time. Mr. Delegator's a Machino, Magna Cat Gelding, Todd Harvey, Kate Southern. 1:39.84 they ran. 1:39.84, and they sprinted home in 34.51 at the end of the mile. 34.51. That was just indicative of how slowly they were going, even on this track today, which is in the soft 5 range. 1 3/4 and a long neck. 1 3/4 a long neck were those margins. Okay, that's how race 4 unfolded. Bad Wolf has certainly continued a really good day for Ash Maley. Going into race 5, the Mrs. Max handicap, where One Little Fish is the scratching to come at 18 after 2 o'clock. A winning double for Brad Rawilla. He comes back aboard Bad Wolf, who's back in the winners list this afternoon after almost 300 days. Let's go back to the yard. Hasn't been that long since Ash Maley was there though, Britt.
No, only a race we had to wait to speak to Ash Maley again, who's just getting a photo with his good mate Bad Wolf. And he's the punter's pal at the moment, Ash Maley, because when we spoke to him after his victory earlier on today and pressed him for the best of the remainder, he, with a wry grin on his face, said, Bad Wolf. Ash comes back to us. Ash, you were confident about the boy today. What gave you that confidence?
His gallop on Tuesday was very, very, very good. The best I've sat on him when he's galloped. So at my place, we've got a pretty good hill, and anything that's hard on the steel at the top, you get on. He was hard on steel.
Tell us us a little bit about your training facilities. We don't see much of them. What sort of base are you working with? Heavy sand and upper hill?
Yeah, it's heavy sand. We've got a 2.5K sand track, and we've got like about an 800 metre uphill on heavy sand, and it's sort of, once you know the track, you sort of know how the horses are going, and that hill's really good for us to see whether we're right on or we're not.
Are there any others in the stable that are just up the steel at the top of that hill, and anytime we do have them all in hand at the top of the hill, can you just let us all know?
Yeah, well, the other one that's up on the steel at the top of the hill is 10-year-old and going for 115 starts.
Red Publisher!
There we go.
Well, that's what we do want to hear. Now, that would be something. Well done on the double.
Cheers, thanks very much.
There's Ash Maley. Could he possibly do it? The old boy, who knows? We'll wait and see. Brad Rawilla, he's with Scott.
He certainly is, Brad. You're able to land him in a wonderful spot, and from there, I'm sure you were growing in confidence from the 800 onwards.
Yeah, I was. Look, his last start, I was really impressed with him. He gave me a great feel through the run. I thought I was the winner on straighting. But even at the 600, he just struggled through the worst bit of the ground on that day. He was starting to cut up on the circle. But then in the straight, it was obviously still quite a lot softer than what it is today. And he just wasn't happy. He got through it. But at the same time, I just said to Ash, you get him back on top of the ground, I'm telling you, he's going good and ready to win. And certainly when the track come up a lot better as it is today, I was pretty confident. And his quirk's always sort of been getting him out of the gates. We've had a man on him last 2 times. He's jumped clean, and that takes away half the trouble too when you land in a good spot and make your race your own.
Congratulations. Hopefully it's a treble with Too Close to the Sun. Best of luck.
Yeah, it'd be nice, and well done to Ash. His team's flying and does a great job on them. Cheers.
Yep, they're going well, that is for sure. Ash Maley's team, as is Brad Rawilla, combining there again for another winner, with Bad Wolf taking out race number 4.